All right, so we're going to continue to work with our three-dimensional shapes or 3D shapes, shapes that we can hold today. You're going to need a page out of your, you're going to need 2 pages out of your book today. So our student journal, you're going to need to go in here and pull out this page right here. It's got a little brown guitar. It says 107 on it. It's got a bunch of different shapes to cut out and some words right here of different shapes. This will all need to be cut out probably before you end up working on your page. It'll help out a lot if you cut them out. You'll need scissors and paste or glue if you have it. But you also need page 109 here. It's got a little white guitar. It's got the 3D shapes that we're going to be talking about on it. We're going to match those up with some words later on, and we're going to put these shapes in these different spots. So that'll be the work that we're going to do here in a minute. Right there. I want to talk to you guys about some math words right here. So you guys remember that we talked about flat shapes last time. So flat shapes are shapes that you would see a picture of on a wall. They have a height, they have a width, they only have 2 dimensions. They're flat. The flat ones are square, rectangle. Well, we can point to you. We can show them to you again because sometimes we just need a little review. So the ones that we talked about last time, rectangle, 4 sides, 4 angles. We've got triangle here, 3 sides to it, 3 angles, square, diamond, heart, hexagon. Hexagon has 6 sides to it. Oval is like a circle that somebody sat on, an egg shape. Pentagon has 5 sides. Star has a whole bunch of sides, 3 points, a whole bunch of angles. Circle has 1 line around it, 1 curved line, and no angles. So those are our flat shapes that we talked about last time. Today I want to talk to you guys about some 3D shape names. So these are going to be new words that you've learned. I've mentioned them before, but we're going to look at their spelling. Here are the ones that we're going to learn today. And again, these are all objects that you can hold. So we have cube, cylinder, say cylinder, cone, and sphere. So these are the 4 different words that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some objects you might have at your house or you might see. A lot of these things are things that you're already familiar with. You see them every day, but sometimes you just don't know the special word for them. So these are the special words. These are the math words that we use to call these different shapes, okay? So cube is what we're going to start off with. A cube is a special type of rectangular prism that uses the square shape, okay? So we have a square on one side. So this is a cube that you might be familiar with. Sometimes they call it a dice. If you have 2 of them, it's called dice. If you have 1, it's called a die. And it is a cube. It is a cube because it has a square all the way around, okay? So for our square, or our cube, we have flat surfaces. They're all squares, and there are a bunch of them, okay? So that means that our square, or our cube, is our 3D shape that we use is our 3D shape that's all squares and has a bunch of surfaces. This one has 6 surfaces. There's other ones that have more, but there's 6 different sides to it, and they're all flat, and that's the cube. Our next one that we're going to talk about is something that you probably see in your cabinets an awful lot. Actually, pause that real quick, because I think we actually have. The next shape that we're going to talk about, as soon as I stop breathing heavy from running across the campus to find one, is something that you do see in your cabinet an awful lot probably. There's a bunch of food things that we put in this particular shape. I drink my coffee out of this particular shape every single day. And you probably see it in your fridge or at your house, when you see a soup can. This shape is called a cylinder. You don't need to know how to spell this right now. We're just going to talk about what it is. A cylinder is this shape. Soup comes in a cylinder. My coffee comes in a cylinder. A cylinder has got a curved surface all the way around. So we have this round shape on the top here. But it's got the round shape around, but it is also flat on top, okay? So if we were gonna draw our cylinder, oh, another thing that is a cylinder would be your sandcastle bucket that we looked at last time. So it's got a couple of lines that are on the sides, and those lines or surfaces are curved, okay? So here's our top of the cylinder. Here's our bottom of the cylinder. Those are those round circles. So there's our top of it. Here's our bottom of it. And there's our sides. I'm going to shut my door real quick so you got a loud friend. While we talk about our shapes. So here's a couple different versions of the cylinder. I'm going to put those down here by our picture right here that says cylinder. And this will help you with your guys' work that you're going to do, okay? The next word we're going to talk about is probably the one that you know the best because it's the most delicious, is the word cone, okay? You probably heard people say cone an awful lot. Hopefully you have, because it's one of my favorite treats, which is an ice cream cone. The cone part of that is the thing that you hold that holds the ice cream. So the way you want to think of a cone is, it is something kind of like this, and this is actually called a cone. They use this in construction, we use this in school. It is a 3D shape that I can hold in my hand. It has got a round bottom surface on it. Usually this square is not there. That's just so that this can stand up when we put it down. Usually it is a round shape on the bottom, flat, but then the part that goes up usually comes to a little point. And if I had an ice cream cone and I was holding it like this, you'd see my ice cream right here. You'd see that it was round to put the ice cream in, and then you would see a point down on the bottom, and that's usually what a cone, or that's what we call a cone. That is a different shape that we use for different reasons. Sometimes it's a cone for construction. Sometimes it's an ice cream cone, which makes it very easy to hold. So when we draw one of those, we're going to draw a point up in the air, and then we're going to make this little curved bottom like that, so that we know that there's a round bottom on it, okay? If you were looking at it from a different way, it would look like this. This would be the round part, and then it would come up in a point like that. So you can kind of see it if I turn this kind of like that. There's our round circle. Hopefully you can see the circle part. And then there's the cone part. And again, this is kind of like a triangle, but I can hold it in my hand. It's a cone. Our last one that we're going to talk about is a very fun word to say because it involves very strange patterns of letters. But we don't need to worry about the spelling. We're just going to talk about the word, and that is sphere. Sphere. It's S and then an F sound. So ear. Okay, so there's a lot of really fun sounds to spit all over friends while you're talking about it. And sphere is one that I mentioned to you guys on your last lesson. Sphere is, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put my cone thing. Here's my cone. I'm going to put it over here by the word cone so you guys know that that's a cone before we move on to sphere, okay? Spheres are our balls, okay? So anytime you see a ball, if you play baseball, it's a sphere. If you play soccer ball, it's a sphere. If you play basketball, it's a sphere. If you know what a globe is or the world that we live on, it is a sphere. A sphere is a circle. So notice this looks like a circle the way you're looking at it right now, but it is a circle that has different, that is all the way around, okay? So it's not just a picture of a flat circle on a wall. It is actually a thing that you can pick up. So with our spheres, they look like a circle when you draw them, unless you put some shading on them. So for this, I'm going to put a little bit of shading on it so that we know that it's kind of round, okay? So a sphere has curved lines everywhere, okay? There's a curved line here, there's a curved line here, there's a curved line here, there's a curved line here. It has a diameter, it has a radius, it has all kinds of cool stuff that you're going to learn as you go through math that makes it a sphere. But for now, all you really need to know is it is a circle that you can hold in your hand, okay? It's also a circle that you can roll. It doesn't have any corners, it rolls real well, it rolls real nice, it rolls away from me, it runs away. And that is going to go right here. Okay, so we're going to put it right next to our word sphere. We have our cone. We have our cylinders right here, or cans. We have our cubes, which is dice, right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at some shapes and you're going to try to figure out what shapes they are. So I'm going to give you guys some time for your parents or you to pause it looking at this picture right here. Can they see all of them? So I want you to keep this picture and you can pause it right here so you know that this word cube is the dice or box type shape. You can see the cylinders are our soup can or my coffee can. The cone is like our little triangle looking thing, but it's round on the bottom, or like an ice cream cone if that helps you think about what it is. And our sphere is like our ball, okay? So I'm taking a picture of this so you guys can just pause it right there to help you with the work you're going to do. Ugh. All right, so your work you're going to do, come on over here, involves these 2 pages. You're going to cut out all these things. I've got your words right here. So this is sphere. This one is cube, cone, cylinder. So what you want to do is you want to take these words first, cut these out, and you're going to find on this page the shape that goes along with it, okay? So over here, we've got our square sides. We got a bunch of different sides. We know that this one is a, if you don't remember, you can go back to that picture I just made you look at. It's a cube, okay? So we take this word cube, and maybe your parents or somebody at home can help you out with putting these in the right spot. Cube, we're gonna put that right there and we're gonna paste it down, okay? We know this shape right here has got a special name. It's got our surface around that is curved and a circle up top. This one is our cylinder, okay? All those pictures of the shapes and stuff, you can go back to that and look at it to help you out with those, or like I said, just have somebody at home help you with putting down the words first. So you paste all the words right here, and then you take these pictures, cut those all apart, and you're gonna try to put them in the different spots, okay? So anything that looks like this, I want you to paste it right there. Anything that has this shape, paste it right here. Anything that is this shape, right there. And anything that looks like this shape, paste it right there. So that's your work for that thing. You're gonna be identifying objects. 3D objects is what the lesson is called. So that's exactly what you're doing. You are identifying or classifying, putting these things in the categories of the shapes, okay? That's what you're gonna be working on today. And it should be a lot of fun because like I said, I love shapes and stuff like that. So hopefully you do too. And we will see you next lesson.